Hey friends, welcome back readers. We hope that everyone had a fantastic holiday break and that they're ready to jump back in and learn some new reading skills. This week we are starting Unit 3 in reading and writing. Oh my goodness friends, we're already on Unit 3? We've learned so much already. And in this unit, we're going to be growing more as a reading community. In this unit, friends, we're going to explore Ezra Keats. He's an author that wrote one of our favorite stories called The Snowy Day. Now, why is it important to learn more about the author of the books we're reading? That's a good question. When we know more about the author and understand the author, it helps us understand what he or she wrote. So the more we get to know Ezra, the more we can think about why he wrote the books that he wrote and maybe the meaning behind the books. Doing this, friends, and doing this kind of research is called an author study. Can you say that with me? Ready? Author study. That means we're studying and researching the author of the books that we're reading. So as I mentioned before, we read another one of our favorite books this morning, The Snowy Day. And that was written by author Ezra Keats. Here's a picture of Ezra Keats. Hey, Ezra. And here's a picture of the front cover of The Snowy Day, just so that we remember what book we read this morning. Now, friends, when we learn more about an author, one way that we can do that is by watching a biography. A biography is something you can read, listen to, or watch that tells you more about a person. And it's true, it's real, it's factual. So everything that we're about to learn today about Ezra Keats is real and is true. We're going to take time now to watch just a couple minutes of a biography on Ezra Keats. And then we'll talk about what we learned when we come back.
Mr. Keats, the well-known illustrator of children's books, has worked in a special technique which combines painting and collage. As he talks, we'll discover some of the things that have influenced his style.
The Snowy Day was the first book that was really my own.
In the process of doing it, my style changed, and the focus of my work changed to those things I cared most about.
All that had happened to me as a child, both good and bad, became meaningful.
In 1963, Ezra Keats won the Caldecott Medal for The Snowy Day, which introduced Peter, whose feelings were much like Keats's own as he grew up in Brooklyn. Peter now appears in many more books. Sometimes books are inspired by a special remembered image. Jenny's hat was written after he saw a picture of an elderly couple with a flock of birds circling above their heads.
So friends, as you heard, there are many different ways and styles that Ezra wrote his books. And in the video, it mentions that he thought about how he felt or some things that he saw when he was younger and how that inspired him to write some of the books that we read today. One of the things that we can do in an author study is talk about things we notice and then think about things we might wonder. So I'm going to say that again. We can talk about things that we noticed, and then we can come up with things that we wonder. So some of the things that I noticed while listening to Ezra Keats's biography is that he won a medal for the Snowy Day. We also noticed that he used a really cool technique using painting and collage to make the illustrations in his books. Like I said before, he thought about the things he did as a child and memories he had as he wrote his stories. And one of the best and most well-known stories is The Snowy Day, which introduces the character Peter. The character Peter is one of the first main Black characters in a fiction story. How interesting. So now that we talked about things that we notice, I've come up with some things that I wonder. I wonder how many materials he needs to create his paintings and his collages for his pictures. And I wonder if there's anyone that helps him come up with the technique. I also wonder what all the other books about Peter are all about. I wonder if there are memories that Ezra Keats has from his childhood when he was a kid that he didn't use to write his stories. All of these are probably good questions, and I'm sure that you have some questions too. Throughout this unit, as we get to know Ezra Keats, we'll probably come up with other things that we wonder. What's really cool about this unit is at the end of the unit, we'll be able to write a letter to Ezra Keats's foundation, maybe asking some of the things that we wonder that we don't find the answers to. How cool is that? So friends, when we do an author study, it helps us learn more and understand the author so that we can better understand the books that we're reading. And ultimately, it's going to help us grow as a community of readers. So as we go through this unit, I want you to take note and make a list of things that you notice and things that you wonder. And think, how are we going to grow as a community of readers by thinking about some of the things that we've learned? I hope you're as excited to get to know more about Ezra Keats as I am and all your other kindergarten teachers. I'm sure you already have tons of questions in your mind that you want to ask us. Well, until next time, friends.